brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Tribune Broadcasting. Tribune Broadcasting is an American media company which operates as a subsidiary of Tribune Media, a media conglomerate based in Chicago, Illinois. The group owns and/or operates 43 broadcast television stations and 1 radio station throughout the United States. It also holds full or partial ownership of 3 cable television and 2 national digital subchannel networks. History. Tribune Broadcasting's development originated with the June 1924 purchase of Chicago, Illinois radio station WDAP by the Chicago Tribune. The new owners changed the station's call letters to WGN, to match the Tribune's slogan, "World's Greatest Newspaper." The Tribune would launch a television station in Chicago, WGN-TV, in April 1948 as a dual affiliate of CBS and the Dumont Television Network. 2 months later, the Tribune's then sibling newspaper in New York City, the Daily News, established its own television station, WPIX, which launched without a network affiliation, as all 4 broadcast networks at the time had already owned other stations in the market. During the next 6 decades, Tribune Broadcasting would acquire radio and television stations throughout the United States. Most of the television properties acquired by the company prior to 1995 were independent stations. WGN-TV and WPIX are the only stations that Tribune has owned since their inceptions. Tribune also operated several local cable television systems from 1977 to 1985. In 1993, Tribune launched Chicagoland Television, a regional cable news channel for the Chicago area, which originally operated separately from the company's other Chicago media properties until it merged its operations with WGN-TV's news department in 2009. In November 1994, Tribune Broadcasting formed a partnership with several minority partners, including Quincy Jones, to form Quest Broadcasting. Quest operated as a technically separate company from Tribune. Tribune would later acquire the Quest stations outright in November 1999. From January 1995 to September 2006, Tribune Broadcasting was a partner in the WB television network, in a joint venture with the Warner Brothers television division of Time Warner. Tribune initially had a 12.5% ownership interest in the network at its launch, and later increased its stake to 22%, in addition, partly as a result of a November 1993 affiliation deal with the network. Most of Tribune's television properties were WB affiliates. On July 2, 1996, Tribune acquired Renaissance Broadcasting, which owned Fox and WB-affiliated stations in several large and mid-sized markets. On January 24, 2006, Time Warner announced that it would partner with CBS Corporation to form a new network that would feature the WB and CBS-owned UPN's higher-rated shows mixed with newer series, called the CW Television Network. All but 3 of Tribune's 19 WB affiliates became affiliates of the CW on September 18, 2006. Through 10-year agreement, though Tribune itself would not exercise an ownership stake in the CW as it did with the WB. In April 2007, Tribune's broadcasting interests were included in the sale of the entire company to Chicago investor Sam Zell, who planned to take the publicly traded company private. The deal was completed on December 20, 2007. On December 21, 2007, Tribune and Oak Hill Capital Partners controlled Local TV, LLC announced plans to collaborate in the formation of a broadcast management company. Its Tribune Interactive division also operated the websites of its stations as part of the partnership. On December 8, 2008, Tribune announced that it would voluntarily restructure its debt obligations, as part of its filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in the United States Bankruptcy Court. As the company had sufficient funds to do so, Tribune continued to operate its newspaper publishing and broadcasting, and interactive businesses without interruption during the restructuring. On January 1, 2011, Tribune launched the digital broadcast network Antenna TV, a service that features a variety of classic television series, including programming from Sony Pictures Television and DL Tafner Entertainment. On May 13, 2013, Tribune announced that it would buy a 50% stake in this TV digital broadcast network from fellow Chicago-based media company WikiVidi Broadcasting. Tribune took over operational duties for the network on November 1, 2013. On July 1, 2013, Tribune announced that it would purchase the 19 stations owned by Local TV, LLC outright for $2,725 billion. The purchase expanded the number of Big Three network affiliates in its portfolio from 1 to 10. An ABC affiliate was Tribune's only station affiliated with one of the three pre-1986 networks prior to the purchase, as well as formed duopolies involving stations in Denver and St. Louis, where the two companies maintained local marketing agreements. In order to prevent conflicts with newspaper cross-ownership restrictions, three stations involved in the acquisition: the Norfolk, Virginia duopoly of WTKR and WGNT, and Scranton, Pennsylvania station WNEP-TV, were sold to Dreamcatcher Broadcasting and are operated by Tribune under shared services agreements. The Federal Communications Commission approved the acquisition on December 20, and the sale was completed 1 week later on December 27. On February 29, 2016, Tribune Media announced that it would review various strategic alternatives to increase the company's value to shareholders, which include a possible sale of the entire company and/or select assets, or the formation of programming alliances or strategic partnerships with other companies, due to the decrease in its stock price since the Tribune Publishing spin-off, and a $385 million revenue write-down for the 2015 fiscal year, partly due to original scripted programming expenditures for WGN America since it converted the cable network from a superstation in 2014, with the FCC reinstating the UHF discount rule. Reports surfaced in late April 2017 that multiple parties were attempting to make offers for Tribune, including Sinclair Broadcast Group, Nexstar Media Group, and a partnership between 21st Century Fox and Blackstone Group. On May 7, 2017, it was reported that Sinclair Broadcast Group is nearing a deal to purchase Tribune Media, and that 21st Century Fox had dropped its bid for the company. On May 8, 2017, Sinclair Broadcast Group officially announced its intent to acquire Tribune Media. The transaction will be a cash and stock deal valuing the company at $3.9 billion. Depending on regulatory changes or decisions, some divestitures may be required. Thank you for watching. Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.